Greetings to everyone. So today we discuss about Forest Rights Act 2006 and we'll go for Wildlife Act. Okay. So this Forest Rights Act. So as we all know that forests are landscapes covering about 23% of the country, right? So this is being taken from SlideShare. So please give the credit to the slideshow. Okay, right. Around 200 million, that is 20% of population, live in and near India's forest lands. So you can see that 20% of the population lives in forests, but they have no legal right to their homes, lands, or livelihoods because that comes under forest area, right? So, result both forests and people were suffering. So, in 2006, Scheduled Tribes and Other Traditional Forest Dwellers Act was passed, which granted legal recognition to the rights of the traditional forest dwelling communities. Okay? So it entitles individuals and families or communities to a right over their own land and importantly empowers the Gram Sabha or village assembly with initiating the process of recognition. Okay, so there are land rights, use rights, and then right to protect and conserve. So till September 2013, the government had received around 3.3 million claims, but only 40% had resulted in land titles. So community forest rights constituted just 2% of all the claims and only 29% of such claims has resulted in land titles. So there is less awareness among the government bureaucrats about the FRA, which resulted in poor implementation of its provisions. Then participation at the Gram Sabha level is very poor. Then recognition of rights of other traditional forest dwellers have been grossly neglected in terms of their eligibility. Okay. So poor recognition of CFR rights and community rights. So there is no clear boundary of community rights where multiple villages are dependent on the same forest. So all these are some of the highlights uh, which has implemented this forest rights. Okay, so because of these deficiencies, they have given this Forest Right Act. So right holders and the Gram Sabhas are not empowered enough to protect wildlife, forest and biodiversity and to regulate access to their forest areas. So large-scale interference by the Forest Department in the rights recognition processes. So all these issues in the implementation was the deficiencies. Then they have given their work, that is, they have land resource mappings done, then workshop for leaders, then capacity building of all eligible communities, then advocacy on FRA, then promoting meetings, facilitating public hearing, and then enabling the inclusion of women in decision making process. So all this was done. Then you can see here the figures, the pictures which were taken. That is 18,725 tribal people benefited from their work. Okay? And then you can see this lady, that is 1,430 tribal men and women from across three states have received individual land titles under FRA. So the Gram Sabha of Panchgaon village earned rupees 1,48,000 by selling bamboo from the village forest, for which CFR has been granted. So you can see all these claims which have been made by the works. Okay, so 34 communities from Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh have received management rights, which have been formed committees and are enforcing rules agreed in the community meetings to stop illegal felling, prevent forest fires, conserve biodiversity, etc. Okay. So this is about the Forest Rights Act. Now we'll go for Wildlife Act. So I'll stop the share and I'll share another slide for this Wildlife Protection Act. So, Wildlife Protection Act. So, this was passed in the Parliament of India in 1972 to protect India's wildlife. Okay. And the main objectives of these are prohibition on hunting or specified wild animals, birds, and plants, setting up and management of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, then control of trade and commerce in wildlife and wildlife products. So we all go and visit these sanctuaries and parks, right? So there is an importance of this Wildlife Act, right? So definitions under the Act are animal includes amphibians, birds, mammals, and reptiles, and their young, and also includes in the process of birds and reptiles and their eggs, right? So animal articles, you can see here ivory, leather, boots which are made from the hunting part, that is capturing, killing, poisoning, snaring or trapping of animals, right? Then injuring, destroying, then driving any animal for their purposes, right? All these. Taxidermy means curing, preparation or preservation of the trophies, that is rugs, skins and specimens of such animals mounted in whole or in part through the process of taxidermy. Then antlers, horns, rhinoceros horns, feathers, nails, tooths, musk, eggs, and nests. Okay. Then vermin means any wild animal specified in Schedule 5, that is, wildlife includes any animal, bees, butterflies, crustacean, fish, moths, aquatic or land vegetarian which forms part of any habitat. So you know that all these animals, we get many parts from them, right? Important and commercial. So this act prohibits hunting of wild animals. Then animal sanctuary is a facility where animals are brought to live and be protected for the rest of their lives. So we have our zoological park, right? So unlike animal shelters, sanctuaries do not seek to place animals with individuals or groups. Then national parks for conservation purposes. Okay, so you can see here the if we visit any Sahara, right? So here we can see the animals, that is tigers, moving on around the animal, the human beings. Then penalties are prescribed in section 51. Okay. So this is about wildlife protection. Thank you.